Hello, everybody. Hello. You're welcome to the Famous Computer Cafe. You're here with me, Ellen Walker, and
Andy Velkoff, and we're going to have a great show for you today, this final Friday of this week. I guess it is the final Friday of this week.
Final Friday of January, too. Anyway, our guest today is Terry, let's see if I've been saying this right all week, Thormodesgaard. No.
Thormodesgaard.
Thormodesgaard. Well, it's close. And instead of Valerie Miller, we have Jim. What's your last name?
St. Omer.
St. Omer, and they're here from THOR, and we're going to talk about computers and jobs. And we also are going to have a call from Angela Bloom, West Coast editor of Computing and Software News, talking to us about the Apple stockholders meeting.
That's right. So if you're one of the few people who didn't make it up there for the meeting, you might want to stay and then listen for the call. We're also giving away, as we have been all this week, Party Quiz, which is a great trivia software game which you can run on your computer. And one lucky caller today will win a copy of Party Quiz.
So in order to call us and ask a question of our guests to win this game, you need to call in Los Angeles, 628 KIEV, 989 KIEV, 956 KIEV. Oh, I'm not telling you where this is. San Fernando Valley was the 989. Glendale Burbank is 956 KIEV. San Gabriel Valley 443 KIEV. South Bay Area 835 KIEV. Orange County is 714-739 KIEV. And West LA is 837 KIEV. So make sure and call in today. I know you all have questions about how to make money out there with your newfound PC skills. And we'll be answering some of those questions and talking about the whole job market in general. We'll be right back after this message.
Oh, honey, you turn me on. I'm a radio. I'm a country station. I'm a little bit corny. I'm a wildflower.
If Lotus had given you just one,
a spreadsheet that's up to 50 times faster than other spreadsheets, with every statistical and financial formula you'll ever need, and the largest workspace on the market.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just two,
information management, to store and organize information with the ability to cross-index over 2,000 records by 32 criteria, and use information from other programs and computer systems.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just three,
Graphics, to graph information from your spreadsheet in less than 2 seconds, and change that information, touch a key, and graph the new results instantly. Graphics as a thinking tool.
that would have been enough.
But Lotus has given you more. Text editing, tutorials, a help key, and a host of features which give Lotus 123 its power and simplicity.
Lotus 123 is available at the Software Spot, 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Los Angeles. Or phone 213-477-7561. That's 213-477-7561.
The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles. A soft sell dealer.
Well, hi, we're back, and this is Andy, and I'm here in the news corner, and we're going to talk about what's happening today. Well, AT&T yesterday announced a joint venture with the Electronic Data Systems, the Ross-Perot company that was bought by GM, General Motors, last year. Starting February 1, according to the Online Today, the two companies will begin developing customized data processing systems for corporate and government clients and customers. Apparently, the agreement is an attempt by AT&T to strengthen its position in information processing. A GM spokesman told writers at the Washington Post that this venture is just a natural extension of a broader game plan. The Post concludes that this is just another example of how companies are forming alliances to better compete in this marketplace. They cite IBM's share in satellite business systems, as well as their recent acquisitions of Rome Corporation. At Thomas Jefferson University Hospital in Philadelphia, administrators have turned to personal computers to help them run their operating rooms more efficiently. The software, written by an independent consultant, runs on an IBM personal computer and is basically a reporting system that controls room turnaround time. With minimum staff input, the system reports delays in any category from scheduling errors to surgeon tardiness. It also provides statistics on number of cases, average case turnaround time, productive and non-productive delays, and the like. According to the consultant, the system should also improve staff morale by showing everyone from surgeons to cleanup crew how important and how interdependent each job really is. Well, that's it for the news. Yesterday was a slow day at the cafe, and I guess all the way around the world.
Right.
Ellen, what do we have on the phone line?
Well, we've got Angela Bloom on the phone. Angela, are you there?
I sure am, Ellen.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine. How was your trip to San Francisco?
I had a great time. I was fortunate enough to sit next to Alan Kay, the Apple fellow, member Exitarian.
Uh-huh.
I sat next to him and got all kinds of inside dope on what he's working on.
Oh, what's he working on?
Well, I can't tell you.
Oh.
About it in computer and software news.
Okay.
And he just said, okay. Huh?
So what else? What was it like there? Was it crowded? Was it a big deal?
Yeah, Apple put on its expected backslapping, foot-stomping annual revival for a packed house of shareholders at the De Anza College. And ringmasters Stephen Jobs, who's the chairman, and John Sculley, who's president and chief executive officer, were there leading the three-ring circus, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, was it? How many people do you figure were there?
I'm not sure. I know the house was fairly packed, and they had a whole nother theater across the street that was hooked into it. So it was hard to tell because I never saw who was across the street.
But you got to be in the main ring, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So what did that? I know basically what they announced, but what was the mood there?
Well, the mood was pretty high. It was a pretty important meeting because what Apple was talking about was its move into the office environment. They called that their Mac Office concept. And it's a move that everyone's been talking about for a long time that's very important if Apple's going to succeed in its, I guess you could say, its contest with IBM.
Right, into the business world.
And into the business world, right.
Is that what's known as the Mac move?
Yeah, right, the Mac move.
The big Mac move.
Right.
So how did people accept or react to their announcements? I know they announced the Apple. Oh, what was it? Well, they announced the laser printer, right?
Right. They announced several new products. One thing, they made their plans clear for the Lisa line. They're renaming the Lisa 210 the Macintosh XL for extra large.
Oh, cute.
Okay? And they're going to
like a T-shirt, huh?
Right. And they're going to phase out the Lisa 2 and the 2.5. Okay, so they're consolidating their Mac line strategy. And then they came out with some new products. Apple Talk is a PC network for $50 per workstation, and it's just a little extension cord that just simply plugs into the back of your PC. It's real easy to use.
Wow.
They also announced the Apple Talk PC card, and this plugs into an IBM PC to allow it to interface with the Macintosh.
Oh, I want one.
Yeah. And then a $7,000 laser printer called Laser Writer. It's going to be used as a print server in the office, and it was incredible. Everybody seemed really impressed with the graphics and the real high-quality offset output that it made. And they also announced an up to 40-megabyte hard disk file server, but that's not going to be ready till late next year. Apparently, third-party products will be ready before that one.
What about like this Apple Works? When's that going to be ready?
Apple Works, let's see, what did they say? The Apple Works should be out real shortly.
Good. Oh, good. Well, that sounds great. So you had a good time, huh?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for reporting on that. We're sorry we couldn't be there, but we're glad somebody we know was.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Ellen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Weak women, you get bored so quick, and you don't like strong women 'cause they're hip to your tricks. It's been dirty for dirty.
Well, hi. We're back here at the famous Computer Cafe, off the phone lines and here in person with Terry and Jim. I'm not going to work on the last names again till we say goodbye. So, welcome, guys.
Thank you, Alan.
That was Terry.
Thank you.
And that was Jim. Okay. First of all, let's start out by, can you tell me a little bit about your company and what the two of you do there?
Okay, Alan. This is Terry here. Alan, what we do is basically from the personal computer anyway, those who are buying them like companies, the way they know us is basically when they buy a system, we're known to send in people that will help organize information for them, or once it's organized, we'll help get the information on the system. Or the third area is sometimes they want to test out how things worked or help them through a parallel test. And then additionally, all the way from, we can send out people to train all the way from the beginning to the end, like we go through department, large companies, or in mom and pop stores even, who just buy PCs. We'll end up just setting up their bookkeeping and word processing on a PC for them. And then the other side, as you well know in your background, is that frequently people who buy PCs, they want to hire people who already are familiar with it. So we, from the company sides, we send out people who can help them either set it up on a per hour basis, or if they want to hire anyway from an operator to programmer, we can refer people to hire. And then, of course, all your listeners out there who are become PC experts or gurus, all the way from doing their own spreadsheets to their own accounting to programming. Obviously, a lot of those folks come to us, and if they want to make extra money, they work through our services on a per-hour basis. Or a lot of them, they become so competent in their skills. Let's say they were a bookkeeper before or a programmer in some different thing, that we'll actually place them in jobs with their additional or new acquired PC experience. So that's kind of our forte.
That's great. And now you're the president of the company,
That's
right?
correct.
And Jim, what do you do there?
Well, I work with the vendors that are selling the equipment, and what I do is make sure that they are kept abreast of all the new things or services that we can provide, and primarily we help them, again, as Terry said, to help customers who need it implement and or actually install and implement their software packages.
So from the point of view of our listeners, if we either work in a company or we work at home, we might run into you when we need some consulting work done on our PCs, or on the other hand, we might come to you when we decide we want to get a job in the PC marketplace.
Yeah, Ellen, even sometimes when people think of the consulting, they think of somebody who's really a high-level expertise. Even those who just say, look, I know the PC well enough to be an operator now, even at all the different levels.
Oh, okay. So if I need a database entered into my PC, I could call you and you could send me somebody to do that.
That's about 50% of our business is helping set up databases. You're right on there.
Wow, no kidding. Well, let's look at the PC marketplace in general as it relates to the whole computer marketplace, because I know maybe half of our listeners have previous computer experience and then got hooked by this little tiny monster called the personal computer. And what's different about the personal computer job market that we don't find in the mainframe job market?
Well, I think the most exciting thing in that market is the rate of growth. Like 4 years ago, everything was hot on the word processing. Obviously, PCs are in the word processing too, but the demand for people who are in word processing was so high, and the salaries went up and stuff. And that was anticipated growth at 20% per year. Now, the PC, the exciting part, is that the anticipated growth in that area is 35% per year.
In the word processing area?
Well, just in the PC area.
Just in the wow.
You're looking at, right now, there's over 5 million installations of PCs by 1995, which isn't that far away. They're looking at over 54 million. So opportunities are going to, with that type of knowledge, it's very good.
Well, let's say that I'm a person who, maybe I was a bookkeeper or I was in accounting before, and I got myself a PC and I got bitten by the bug. And I really spent some time learning. Maybe I know DBase 2 or I know Lotus real well, and I want to do this as a full-time job. I don't want to be a bookkeeper anymore. I want to be a PC, either a PC consultant or a programmer. If I came to you, what would you be able to do for me?
Well, what we would do is, Ellen, what you're saying to us in this example is that, listen, you know your bookkeeping, accounting, you know the system, and what you'd like to do is go around and use that, both the accounting knowledge or bookkeeping knowledge and new acquired technical knowledge, and help other companies and capitalize on that, or other people who bought it. We have what we call an installation aid, and those folks virtually go from site to site to site, going in and organizing because they know the accounting, and then they'll help teach them how to lay things out to go through the conversion and how to test it out, and then they actually get involved and get them going. So a lot of your folks who have that ability, they're in hot demand. In fact, one of the hottest areas in the 80s is training, and you hit a real hot button when you pointed out something that's really in demand, and that is knowing your bookkeeping, accounting in combination with the personal computer. Ellen, that's probably going to be one of the hottest areas in the 80s, combining that with the ability of having people skills to train. So you're probably one of the hottest, you mentioned one of the hottest things that will be coming about.
Jim, what else are important areas in the PC marketplace, besides just knowing the PC? What would be some other important areas of background that might help you get a job?
Well, I think the personal computer, being a multifunctional system and obviously having an opportunity there to handle a lot of different applications, virtually someone who can take their specialty or expertise in a particular area now and via a PC, better utilize that in jobs. And I think more and more companies are starting to use the various applications that are available to them now on the personal computer, and there's going to be a demand for not only somebody that has the expertise in that area, but also somebody has the expertise to use that on a personal computer. So we're opening up a whole wide area of need via the personal computer, and I guess it comes down to its ability to run a lot of different types of applications on it.
So it's basically any background that you have, if you can put it together with knowledge of a personal computer, you enhance your value in the marketplace.
You bet.
You are combining the PC knowledge with a specific industry knowledge is a gold mine. That's the key. Just having PC knowledge without any industry knowledge is not nearly in demand, and as you would know, Ellen, they'd be more oriented towards just a data entry position. But if you have the industry knowledge and the PC, your opportunities are just multiplied.
Well, now, what about the PC gurus, you know, the whiz kids that know, and not necessarily kids either, I don't want to make any age bracket here, but the people that really know a PC in and out, they know, you know, the low-level language, which means that a language that talks directly to the hardware, they know that kind of stuff, but they don't really have an industry knowledge. Isn't that knowledge pretty valuable also?
Especially in telecommunications, because that's the way the PCs are going to get involved in the communications with host computers, and tying it all the way into telephone systems and things of that nature. That type of person, and if you look in demand charts, folks who know PCs and programming, and if you can combine it, and again, I hate to keep adding things, but add it to some type of telecommunications, that knowledge, that is one of, if not the hottest, one of the hottest futures there is.
Wow, telecommunications.
Oh, especially with the PC, and extremely hot. The demand for that is there are just not enough people who know it. So those gurus get into that.
Really, call us up. Anyway, okay, we're going to take a break right now. I want to remind you of the phone numbers in LA at 628 KIEV, San Fernando Valley 989 KIEV, Glendale Burbank 956 KIEV, San Gabriel Valley 443 KIEV, South Bay 835 KIEV, Orange County 714-739 KIEV, and West LA 837 KIEV. We're going to go listen to a message, and when we come back, we'll take some calls.
What a sorry face you get to wear. I'm gonna tell you again now if you still.
Bank Street Writer by Broderbund is the one-word processing program that is unpretentious enough to be used at home by both children and adults, yet is sophisticated enough to meet most small business needs, too. Bank Street Writer is packed with powerful features that have made it the most popular home word processing program in the world. There are no complex codes to memorize. Directions are at the top of the screen every step of the way. Bank Street Writer gives you sophisticated features like automatic word wrap, universal search and replace, automatic centering, and easy storage and retrieval of anything you write, complete with password protection. Bank Street Writer also comes complete with a special tutorial on the back of the disc that teaches the basics of word processing. A comprehensive reference manual and free backup disc are also included. Want to try your hand at Bank Street Writer? Then follow your feet down to Strictly Software at 14617½ Prairie Avenue in Lawndale. Or you can call 213-970-1242. Strictly Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, hello, we're back here at the famous Computer Cafe. I'm Ellen Walker, and we're going to take a call from a listener. Hi, this is Ellen. Who's this?
Oh, this is Jaime.
Hi, Jaime. How you doing today?
Yes.
You have a question?
Yes, I have a question. I am taking a vocational school, but I won't mention that name for specific reason at night school. So I was wondering, is computer hardware a good field, and what will the job be like, and atmosphere? I'm right now in the process of making a small computer.
So you want to know what the prospects are for jobs in repair of hardware, of the computer hardware?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it Jaime?
Yes,
Jaime, you happen to pick, this is just a recent article from Working Women in January 1985, you happen to pick what they consider that one of the number one growth areas in the United States. They anticipate a 97% growth factor by 1995 in computer service technicians. Yes. So it seems like you might get in the right place at the right time.
Oh, good.
How much longer do you have before you're out of school for that?
Till May.
Till May. Great. What would you recommend he does once he's got this schooling background? What would be the next step?
Well, I would have a tendency to go and look at your major hardware firms and get going and talking with them. And I might not even wait till I graduate. I might start poking around and talking to them and seeing what they're looking for right now. The other thing is there's major service companies who hire folks directly out of schools. And the service companies are going to become a real big thing in that the margins or the profits in that are going to be considerable. Therefore, the people who work in it will be considerable. One of the things is I'm looking at as far as entry salaries, and this was a survey done out of working women. Again, they were talking about starting salaries of anywhere from 15 to 20,000, with a mid-career salary range of anywhere from 21 to 35,000. So I think you got a real future there, and especially with the growth rate.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I believe so. Everybody's talking about IBM or other places.
Jaime, Ellen was in the employment business too, and I'm sure she would tell you the big thing is to get out there and talk to a lot of folks and find those service companies, like a lot of these computer stores, and they have centers and things like that where they're going to have service folks. And Jim, you would know some also additional.
Well, I would say the big things, Jaime, are the actual vendors that are selling the equipment, but the service companies. There's a lot of independent service companies that all these retail stores are contracting their service out to, and you could start by, of course, trying to contact the vendors, okay, the actual manufacturers, the IBMs and so forth, but then look in the yellow pages for these service companies, and then you could actually start going around to the different retail stores that are out there. You know, there are many of them, the Computerlands or Radio Shacks, and find out from them where and how their equipment is serviced, and then you could start tracking down those independent service companies out there, and I'm sure you can probably start to come up with some leads for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. I know, for instance, Jaime, there's one company called Serviceland that I'm familiar with that does strictly service. That's all they do. So they would be a good place to start, as well as going to IBM and Digital Equipment and Honeywell and HP and all those kind of guys, too.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, okay, that answers my question.
Okay, well, good. Thanks for calling and keep listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. What else is happening in the marketplace as far as demographics are concerned? I think it's not a man's world anymore, is it?
Well, it sure isn't, Ellen. One of the things is in the computer industry, which all those who are ladies out there and those who are interested in this, is that in the computer industry is one of the industries that has the most parallel as far as in incomes, as far as between men and women doing the same job. The percentage of difference in the incomes played a man versus a woman are very, very close. So that's kind of exciting. The other thing is in demographics, you're talking about the change in the ages of people that are available. And for all those folks who've just gotten into personal computers, this is kind of a neat thing for you to know, because basically the entry market, 18 to 24 years old, is dissipating. The reduction in 1990 will be up to 14.5%. The 35 to 44-year-old folks, they're on the increase by 42%. In other words, employers are going to be needing to hire folks that are, frankly, not right out of school anymore. They're going to be needing to hire folks that are of older nature, and that for those who've just gotten into the personal computers, that's a great advantage, tremendous advantage. And the second thing is that a lot of you who would like to listen to a show like this, you're usually more adventurous, you're usually a little bit more ambitious, you want to know about things. The change in the workplace right now, and every study that I've seen that's going on, a big part that they're interested in is productivity now. And in other words, productivity per person and increasing that. So I think getting into the personal computer now, and also the change in the way companies are going to be hiring, all the way from age to male, female, how that's changing dramatically. Ellen, it's exciting for all levels of ages and backgrounds, and in this industry, maybe more so than any other industry. I don't know how to word it other than it's probably one of the few industries it's a fair shot for, regardless of your background, if you're energetic and get going at it.
Yeah, for everybody. That is very encouraging. I mean, a lot of times I think we picture that the younger people, even younger than myself, are the ones that have the corner on this market, and it's really not true. I as Terry was saying, I also used to be in this business of placing people, and it doesn't matter how old you are if you know what you're doing here. I mean, there is almost a desperation out there for good people. And if you can show that you've got energy and you know what you're talking about, that's really all that matters.
And the neat part about it, Ellen, it's even getting stronger. And I hate to say this, but if somebody's a doubting Thomas, say, well, it's really not that way. The fact of the matter is there's plainly fewer younger people because the baby boom is over.
That's right.
So that's affecting not just this industry, but every industry as far as who employers are going to even be able to hire. And in fact, they're even talking about now, they're concerned about how to keep, I don't want to call us the 35 and older, the older group, but how to keep those folks even happier doing entry-level positions. So if you've just changed to the PC and want to get going in a career in it, you're becoming more and more and more in demand for multiple reasons besides the tremendous number of new systems being sold.
Well, you can also bring a certain maturity to the position that I think somebody straight out of college or high school can't do.
You bet.
Yeah. Well, listen, as usual, we're out of time before we know it, and I really want to thank you guys for coming down here. I'm sure I know I learned a lot, and I know our listeners probably have learned a lot also. Thank you for coming to the cafe.
Thank you, Alan.
Very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Jim.
Alan.
And we'll be right back after this message to say goodbye and tell you our winner.
Start with the world's best-selling database system. Give it enhanced features to make it faster, more powerful, and easier to use, and you have the makings of a software heavyweight. DBase 3, Ashton Tate's hot new package for your 16-bit PC. With DBase 3, you can create records with up to 128 fields, access 10 files at once, and run other programs like communications or word processing without leaving DBase 3. You can read non-DBase files from other software programs or mainframe databases. And you can easily convert your DBase 2 files and programs to DBase 3. If you get stuck, help is at your fingertips with multiple help screens. And where do you go to see this powerful new program? Go see David and Betty Sun at Sun Computers in the city of Carson. They'll tell you what you need to know about DBase 3 and more. Sun Computers is located at 20925 South Bonita in Carson. Or call 213-538-8338. That's 213-538-8338. Sun Computers in Carson, a soft cell dealer.
Well, we have to say goodbye as usual. I want to let you know how to get a hold of these people. The name of the company is THOR, THOR, and you can call their corporate headquarters at 487-0130. They also have offices in Orange County, San Fernando, and South Bay, and I'm sure the corporate headquarters will tell you how to get a hold of those people.
Okay, next week we want to let you know here at the famous Computer Cafe we have Jim Zuber, who's the author of Millionaire and Squire, and we're going to be taking a phone call from Jack Anderson in Washington about the Young Astronauts Council. Tuesday, Richard and Ron Grant will talk about their music time processor, music composing with computers. Wednesday, James Cavuto, lasers and applications, and lots of other great stuff, and Dr. Disc on Friday, so save your questions. Our winner, Ellen, is?
Our winner is Ron Petrie, and he is going to win Party Quiz from Suncomp. And we want to tell you all next week we will be giving away Squire with Jim Zuber's game by Blue Chip Software. So have a great weekend.
See you Monday.
Bye-bye.